Hello and welcome to a special edition of The Big Picture. We are here in Thiruvananthapuram, the capital of Kerala, which is going to have elections on May 16th. As you all know, for the last 5 years, the UDF is ruling the state, the UDF with Congress as the lead party. And in these last 5 years, what they have done, that is going to be tested in these elections. As the neighboring state, like the neighboring state Tamil Nadu, where we have also witnessed alternately the DMK and ADMK coming to power. Similarly, in Kerala also we have witnessed for last several years the UDF and then the LDF coming to power. So it is now, if you go by the trends, if you go by the history, people should say that LDF, it is now the turn for LDF, like they say in Tamil Nadu that it is the turn for DMK. But I don't think that it is as simple as that. No elections are simple, and this year especially, there are some factors which have created certain uncertainties, because of which even very experienced pollsters, experienced commentators and analysts are finding it difficult to understand which side these elections will go. So that means that the elections are going to be very interesting. So to discuss this, I have with me M.G. Radhakrishnan. Radhakrishnan is the editor of Asianet TV network. He's also been a print journalist, a veteran journalist, both in print and television. I have also with me A. Sampath. Sampath is the MP, CPIM MP from from the suburbs of Thiruvananthapuram, and also a veteran politician who has been around for quite some time. And I have with me Professor K.P. Kannan. K.P. Kannan is the chairman of Science and Technology for Rural Development, and he's also a senior economist. And I have with me Sajeev Joseph. Sajeev Joseph is the general secretary of the KPCC, and the party which is trying to hold on to the power in these elections. And lastly, but not least, is M.K. Bhadrakumar. M.K. Bhadrakumar is a former diplomat and also a political analyst who understands Kerala very, very intimately. So welcome to all of you. Mr. Sajeev Joseph, last 5 years your government has been in power. Why do you think the people have to return your government back? What is it that you people have done that that people will be forced to return you to power?
Yes, in Kerala we are ruling for the last 5 years. UDF government did lot of development works and overall growth in Kerala. Also, a peace atmosphere we created in Kerala. So, considering to other states and other governments, the people feel that UDF government was a successful government, and this is the first government did lot of big projects and social projects in a short span of period considering to other governments, and the people feel that this government should continue for the next term. So we are very confident that UDF government can continue in this election. The people of Kerala will select the UDF once again for the development of Kerala, a peaceful atmosphere of Kerala, and for maintaining the secular and democratic valuable the situations in Kerala. So we are very confident on that, sir.
Mr. Sampath? Mr. Sampath, would you, LDF has had its problems in the past, but in these last 5 years, they are saying that this is going to be a do or die election for the LDF. Would you look at it that way?
I may be permitted to disagree with what my learned friend has now stated. Because the common people of India, the common people of Kerala, they have shown a role model to the common people of India. because this state, its democratic process, it has, we have a very good heritage of upholding the principles of secularism. Now what you see in Kerala is that the very basic foundations of the secularism is being drained away, and the rampant corruption which has emerged during the term of this present day UDF government in Kerala during the last 5 years. It is not actually they ruled this state, but they have ruined this state, what I should say. So here the basic question before the people is that whether you want to continue this government to engage in the rampant corruption, whether you want this state, this small state of Kerala, the God's own country, as a breeding place of communalism. What our the left democratic front, we have released our manifesto, and in this manifesto of 72 pages, this manifesto is in Malayalam, so in this 72 pages of manifesto of the LDF, we have made it very clear that what we intend to do when we come to power.
No, sorry, you said about communalism. Do you attribute communalism in Kerala to the UDF government?
Your pardon?
Are you attributing communalism in Kerala to the UDF government?
Because only because of the encouragement, part and parcel, we can say that, because the BJP, the best friend they can have in Kerala is the Congress party. And the best comrades that this UDF can have in Kerala is the BJP. So it's just like that, you scratch my shoulders and I will scratch your back also. It's there is a tacit understanding between these two political parties in Kerala,
Mr. Joseph,
and this is not a new thing also.
Mr. Joseph, would you like to respond to that? Congress and BJP are hand in glove. That's what he's trying to say.
Never. In the history of Kerala, we witnessed that many occasions CPM was with the BJP. In the earlier form of the BJP, Janasangh, they joined together and they contested together in many elections. And at national level also, they joined together and they supported one government. So we didn't forget that. So many occasions CPM was with the BJP, and many incidents are there in many states. They are directly or indirectly helping BJP to come to the power. But always, Indian National Congress, there is no doubt, in India, Congress party is the major secular party. CPM agrees that. That's why CPM is joining with the Congress in West Bengal.
That I'll come
and
to
in
that.
Many states,
This very peculiar arrangement which is there, we'll come to that. It's a separate issue, Professor Kannan. Professor Kannan, you know, Mr. Joseph was talking about these last 5 years, the development which has taken place in Kerala during these 5 years. How do you respond to that? Do you think that these last 5 years have seen development which is far-reaching?
I cannot say that development works that they have taken are far-reaching, but certainly any government is bound to do some developmental work. But a few things which strikes me as something to be noted is that when the UDF came to power, they did not give a real push to the Panchayati Raj. Instead, there was a trifurcation of the departments, local government, urban affairs and rural development, which was merged with great effort by the previous government. The LDF on its part, while it gave a people's participatory phase to the Panchayati Raj, I also somewhat disappointed that they are not pushing that agenda much further and take mileage out of it. The second thing, I think people are not just really worried about what we may all call development, because some people say development is having highways or some ports or airport, but the real development is how ordinary people are able to lead a decent life and life of dignity. And they are also concerned. There is a kind of moral system among the people, which they may not be able to measure, but they know what is good and what is bad. And I think corruption in Kerala has emerged for the first time in a very comprehensive way as a major public issue. And I wish the LDF pushes the agenda much further, not only to attack corruption of the existing order, but also to assure the people that when we come to power, we will definitely not
indulge in the same
tread path and we guarantee you that.
So are you linking this so-called development in courts to corruption?
You see, so-called developmental opportunities, basically projects, in this neoliberal setting has created vast opportunities for rent-seeking of various kinds, including corruption, privileges, seeking undue favors, and that has affected Kerala, unfortunately, also. So I think people do see that, and people are swayed by the news about corruption. That's what happened to DMK in the last elections there.
Right.
What happened to UPA in the center. But I still can't say that what is going to happen in the elections. But it has emerged as a major issue.
Okay, Bhadra Kumar, what are the issues in this election? You think that development is a major issue? Professor Kandan's interpretation of what development is, what it means to the people is on one side. The other side is, corruption, criminalization. What is the major issue in the minds of the people?
You see this so-called, in the national context, what we call the anti-incumbency.
Right.
It is very much there. This accounted for the kind of regular, reversal of roles that has been a feature of Kerala politics for several decades.
That alternate dominance.
Alternating. Now, this could have changed in 2011 in the elections, but for reasons, a variety of reasons, I think to my understanding, the left probably wasn't even pushing very hard, because there was really no anti-incumbency about Achyutanandan government. But it lost. It lost by a wafer-thin margin, which is still today an enigma, why it happened. So that cycle which we saw in Kerala politics, that need not necessarily repeat today. So when you say anti-incumbency today, what you are talking about is only this corruption. But then is corruption restricted to this political setup? I am not very sure. As a citizen, objectively viewing this from outside, I think everyone is in it. The point is, it's a question of relative involvement. Everyone is in it. So people, on the whole, I think are in a mood of resignation, of stoical resignation, about this being a running feature of Kerala's political life.
Corruption may not be such a major issue in the minds of the people.
It is not. I personally think that the people have resigned themselves to this as a fact of life, and most people do have connections, family-wise or personally, with both the fronts. So whichever one comes to power, they can get their little job done. It's a very peculiar situation that is obtaining here, and manifestos talk very glowingly about developmental works and all that. But if you look at the
so what is the issue? What is the issue? What is the if you have to pinpoint 2, 3, 4.
I think basically it comes down to this: the swing votes in Kerala have always mattered because constituencies are won by very small majorities.
Sir, sorry to intervene.
And
this year we are talking.
Girish, I am coming to a very important point. And I think we have talked for a number of years about this, but I have a feeling that Bharatiya Janata Party has finally gained traction.
That is the point.
In Kerala politics.
Yes.
Now this is going to phenomenally change the whole entire calculus. And they are playing also, on the other hand, a long game. For example, sitting in Delhi, you and I could never have imagined that they would project social justice. This is the way they are doing it. They have adapted themselves to the Kerala environment, and they are picking up allies from constituencies, which would have been unthinkable in the past, Now,
you mean that SNDP joining hands with them?
Not only that, I mean, even Prime Minister's visit to the UAE in Saudi Arabia can be now seen in an entirely different
context,
perspective.
Okay.
This is, and,
I think
and now he is going for the canonization of Mother Teresa in September to Vatican.
Right.
So all this can be seen in a certain perspective. Massive realignment.
Only a diplomat could see this from this angle, I'm sure. Anyway, Radhakrishnan, would you agree with him? And is BJP the factor now? Is that going to be the deciding factor? How much are they going to have an impact?
Well, Girish, as you said in the beginning, if you go by tradition and history, it should be LDF back again, because of the kind of seesaw politics that one sees in Kerala.
And people also, to some extent, have internalized this kind of a situation.
That is right. People seem to be, and Malayali especially, seems to be very cynical in his or her approach to political games. You give a a front a chance, then you try them, you test them, and after 5 years you try the other one.
Right.
That has been going on.
And this has been happening in neighboring Tamil Nadu also.
That is right to an extent. This is something which has been going on, and now most of the pre-poll surveys also give LDF an edge. Almost all the pre-polls, the degree of difference would be there, but so that is there. But as everybody said, and Mr. Bhadrakumar put it so clearly, the emergence of BJP as a factor of extremely significant import has altered this traditional power equations of Kerala to an extent that it has become the most uncertain election situation. As you said, it's actually trumps even the senior most political analysts.
Right.
But about corruption, I think there is something, I have a difference of opinion that, though it is generally believed that all the political parties have been corrupt equally, I think this particular government has put some huge record in terms of doing all kinds of corrupt deals that actually has gone up to even the chief minister's level. This has never happened before. And if you take a comparison of the last LDF government, there was not a single minister who faced any serious corruption charge.
Here, quite a few had to resign here.
This government, I'm talking about the last government.
No, this government.
Yeah, this government, 2 ministers have resigned and 1 has come back again. And there are so many allegations. And of course, so the corruption has never become such an important factor in Kerala.
No, but sorry, Radhakrishnan,
right,
to intervene. But is it related to the structural ways in which the new, what Professor Kannan called as the neoliberal structures which are allowing opportunities for this kind of corruption?
Absolutely, to a large extent that is right. The neoliberal policies of the kind of huge projects that Kerala was not quite familiar with until recently. The big ticket projects that have come up, that have opened up, as he said, avenues for rent seeking and privileges, and also the kind of new technologies, that also has helped corruption to mushroom like any, it's never happened in the sense, and the media also has been tracking this to an extent that, it has been all over the place for the last 4-5 years. So, if one single point on which the LDF is fighting this election is on this plank of corruption that is against the government. But as you said, the kind of reinvention of BJP in Kerala and elsewhere also, after the emergence of Narendra Modi, the kind of upper caste, upper class kind of, or North Indian, that tag is slowly sort of vanishing in the sense that the BJP has been proactive in getting allies among the poorer among the backward sections of Kerala, the lower caste, even the Dalits and all, which has never happened before.
Okay. Sampath, coming to this, what Joseph was earlier pointing out, this peculiar situation which has developed for the first time in this country, where the left front and the Congress are have joined hands in Bengal, where elections are being held simultaneously. Here you are fighting against each other. Isn't that creating a problem for you people? When you go to the people,
no.
How is it that you are going to justify to the people that all the attack which you are going to have on the Congress?
Sir, I hope he made a statement just because he is ignorant of the historical facts or the political history. You see, CPM has never made any understandings with the Janasangh. We fought the emergency. During the time of the internal emergency of 1975-77, many of our leaders, CPIM, they were behind the bars. And many of the socialist leaders were also behind the bars, including Janasangh also behind the bars. Not even them. Even some of his own party leaders, they were also opposing the imposition of the internal emergency of 1975. And number two.
77, 89. These are the two things which they are talking about, obviously.
Yes, you please understand this point. Because the Janata Party was formed, it was not formed by RSS. It was Janata Party came into being because as a result of the JP movement.
Let us not go into history. We don't have time to go into history. People understand that. No, but you answer my question. That this peculiar arrangement which you have in Bengal and a different kind of arrangement here. Here you are the main rivals. There you are friends. How are the? Isn't that one of the reasons why the BJP may be finding itself in a better situation?
No, because some of his leaders, even the present-day Chief Minister Shiv Manchandi was along with us during 1980-82. and a portion of the Congress, they were along with us, and they were sharing the cabinet berths in the LDF government during 1980-82. They left us. But the LDF didn't go to oblivion, and we are still strong. There, in West Bengal, what happens is that Ms. Mamata Banerjee's government, it is a semi-fascist government. It is much ruthless. It is much ruthless than the former government of Siddhartha Shankar Rai during that time. So it has become a fact that even the BJP, not only the Congress or the left, but all the political parties, all the opposition parties in West Bengal, they are now being beaten up, their workers killed, their officers
so that is the reason
burnt,
why you have come.
And it's just like an emergency declared in West Bengal.
Okay, Joseph, how do you explain this? You know, you yourself said that this arrangement in Bengal and here, aren't you finding it difficult to explain to the people this arrangement?
No, there is no difficulty for Congress. Actually, Congress have enmity with any political parties, or that is not on the basis of any personal enmity. Actually, in Kerala, this intolerance, this election is discussed, focuses on intolerance, based on intolerance. Actually, that intolerance, CPM's political intolerance and BJP's communal intolerance. This both intolerance, it will not acceptable to Kerala society, Kerala public.
Okay, that's I think you have made an interesting
in
point.
Kerala, we are fighting.
So
against
you are saying intolerance is a major issue.
Of CPM and communal intolerance.
Okay, that's a very interesting point. So is that how you would look at it? Is intolerance an issue?
Well, I don't know whether intolerance, when the political parties, they want to win elections, then they will use all these words. Because once they are in power, they also tolerate to a certain extent. So people are willing to, as he said, cynical in a very healthy way, because they take in some of these things and provide a certain minimum threshold. When it crosses a minimum threshold, then they get concerned.
Right.
Whether it is communal intolerance.
Has it crossed the minimum threshold? You think the situation today in Kerala has crossed the threshold?
I think in some parts of Kerala. It's not, I cannot generalize it, and maybe there are other people who will know. But what I find is, if the BJP, and BJP is a factor for the first time, a major factor. So if the BJP inroad comes in and takes away the votes of other fronts, who will get more damaged? That's going to be the question.
And that is something which
no one knows now.
Still people are not.
Still people are debating, and if UDF get decimated, then I will not be surprised a future when the Bengal model will repeat here. Or if the LDF gets decimated, I will not be surprised.
For us to discuss that. We'll have to, okay, Mr. Badr Kumar. You know, he's talking about the emergence of BJP, which has come out, and this intolerance thing which Mr. Joseph is talking about is an interesting point he's making. But is that a factor which is dominant in the minds of people?
I don't think intolerance as such is how we look at the left movement in Kerala. It is an assertive movement. It has edges of militancy, which is quite understandable, considering that it represents a certain ideology of justice, of resistance to injustice, fairness, equity in life.
But that has led to a lot of situation.
It's therefore a perspective. Whether that amounts to the alchemy of intolerance, it's not, in my opinion. And I think Malayali is educated enough to understand, because he sees around him that the kind of semi-welfare state that is prevailing in Kerala today. And if you look at an ordinary worker, he raises his voice, and in vast tracts of India, he has no voice. And he can assertively claim his daily wages and so on. Now, is this intolerance on his part? You know, so it's a matter of perspective.
Okay. Leaving that aside, who is BJP? All of you agree that BJP has emerged as a force here. Who is it going to damage? Is that something which you have any idea about?
I think BJP is playing the long game. Its best chance lies in the United Democratic Front unraveling. If it unravels, certainly certain pieces of it will gravitate towards the BJP, because its strategy,
and that is the strategy
is to form a front. Because in Kerala, howsoever much its vote share may be, unless it has allies, it cannot reach power.
Absolutely.
You know, that's the point.
Yes, Radhakrishnan, very quickly.
Yeah, that's right. What he said. You know, the votes that BJP is going to get, whose vote is going to be? I mean, that is a very significant point.
I was reading somewhere.
Right.
I was reading somewhere that that it's the LDF votes which
that is right. You know, if you go by a conservative kind of analysis, it should go to, I mean, it should hit the LDF more,
yes.
because being a Hindu-dominated party,
right.
unlike the UDF, which is completely dominated by the minorities, or the minorities stand firm behind it. So normally, if the Hindu vote is going to split, definitely the LDF will stand to lose more than the UDF. But one particular point that I would like to see, that I'm seeing on the ground, maybe as an undercurrent, is, you know, as a matter of sort of compensation for what it is going to lose in terms of Hindu votes, a new emergence of Muslim votes in favor of the LDF is happening actually. If you go to North Kerala, it is palpable. In Malappuram, actually, I'm not going to say that Muslim League is going to be hit so badly, but there is a real shift because the perception that it is not the UDF but the left which is taking on the BJP threat.
Okay, very quickly, sir.
What I want to add to is that I'm a little worried as a citizen here that because of these social and political issues, real developmental issues are getting sidelined. We have a major environmental crisis in this state. You see the green, but it's with camouflages.
And also, I was reading about the way the governance itself, the huge debt which has come about
from 50,000 crores to 150,000 crores in 5 years' time.
And all that. Those are not issues at all in this election.
They are not being projected as issues.
They are not.
And the social justice issue.
Very quickly, Sampath, last words. This, what Radhakrishnan says about BJP being, affecting the LDF actually. Is that a concern as far as LDF is concerned?
The growth of BJP in the Kerala politics is a concern for all secular parties. Not only for the CPIM, but also for the Congress also, and for the smaller parties also, which believe in the secularism and the Constitution of India. So here in Kerala, it is our primary duty. The LDF believes that it is we who check the forces of BJP.
Okay. I think on that note, we need to end, So it's very evident from this discussion here, just half an hour, but, we have touched many issues. It's very evident from the discussion here that BJP is emerging as a force for the first time in several years, in several decades, in fact. So we will have to wait and watch how this third emerging force will affect the election results. We'll wait and watch for that. Thanks to all my guests. Please keep watching. We'll come back with another issue on the big picture, same time tomorrow. Meanwhile, goodbye from Tirunelveli.
Hello and welcome.